special. Let all that we are become the life that we share. And let's create a world that's built on our love. Let's create a world that's built on our love.
Hey y'all, and welcome to
Hi, guys.
another exciting episode of the Marriage is Better Together podcast with Isaac and
Teresa Tarver.
baby. We in the game. Good to
We
see y'all
back.
this week. So good to see y'all this week. Listen, we have been very intentional about making sure that we take time for ourselves. So y'all notice y'all didn't get a podcast last week. It's because we needed to take care of some things at home. Got those situated and we in the game. So thank y'all for joining us again this week. We are here locked in, ready to go, and got a great topic for you. So let's just start off real quick, just quick check-ins. How you doing today?
I'm tired. Yesterday was daylight savings, and
Yes.
it really took me. Like, I looked up.
I was not expecting the hit.
Yeah, I didn't expect for that hour to really smack like that, but it did.
It definitely got out on me.
Yeah, like I was exhausted yesterday, and I feel like I still didn't catch up today because the kids, they don't care about daylight savings. That don't matter to them. So they woke up even earlier this morning. I'm just like, y'all tripping.
I definitely was not expecting. So obviously daylight savings always fall on Sunday. When you got Sundays, when you got to do Sunday morning stuff, it's like that little hour definitely be on the count side. But it just felt like this year it was particularly like taxing.
Yeah.
So,
and I feel like I haven't recovered. So maybe tonight I'm gonna try to go to bed earlier tonight.
Yeah, got to go back and get that hour somewhere.
Yeah, to catch up because it smacked me for real. How you doing?
The same way. I'm feeling the same way, but we shake yourself. Just stay in the game because stuff just got to get done.
Yeah.
So all the preliminaries out the way.
Not yet. We got to talk about the patterns.
That's in the preliminaries, baby.
Oh, I thought you said they was out the way.
No, I'm saying getting the preliminaries out the way.
Get them out the way. Got you.
So, as you guys know, we are the curators and creators of the Pattern Marriage coaching. The Pattern Marriage
facilitators.
Facilitators is a great word as well. This is our coaching program that God gave us to help serve those who are looking to strengthen their marriage, who are looking to just pour into the every aspect of what it is that you're trying to grow, strengthen, tighten up. All marriage coaching is not because you're struggling. Some of it is because you see strength and you just want to reaffirm strength, and we're there for that. If you are struggling, you have something you need to talk about, we're there and available for that as well. You can reach out to us at thepatternmarriage@gmail.com, and we'll be in contact with you to set up services or set up some sessions with you and have a good time. You can follow us on all social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram,
TikTok, but it's Tarver Marriage.
Yes, Tarver Marriage on TikTok, but on all other platforms it is at Marriage is Better Together. And YouTube. Y'all make sure, if you have not just yet, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. We are growing in our subscribers, and we are appreciative of everyone who has subscribed so far.
And if you're listening to on a platform like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, go over to YouTube, please, y'all. Follow us there. See what we look like.
Yeah.
And like and subscribe.
Feel free to comment. We've been seeing some very beautiful comments about people who have been really being blessed. Is that the word? What's the proper term? I feel like that's the churchy
being
term.
Blessed,
yeah,
being encouraged, being enlightened. No, it's just encouragement. Yeah, encouraged. Yeah, that's
so
it.
People who are really enjoying the podcast, and we're grateful that you guys are enjoying the podcast. So make sure to comment. It gives us, that strength to say, okay, people are enjoying this. People are feeling good about what they're hearing. And what they're
I want to say too about the Pattern Marriage. It's not just for married people. We also do relationship counseling. We do compatibility counseling. If you've been dating somebody for a little while and you want to know, hey, are we going in the right direction? Should we keep on doing this, or should we let it go? Y'all can sit down with us and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to be honest with y'all, let y'all know you wasting your time, or you need to be moving it along.
Or you need to just focus more in these areas, and y'all can kind of,
all of the things.
So, and from our pre-marriage, we love doing premarital counseling. That's one of those areas that's like really, really fun.
Catch you before you get in the door.
Absolutely. Best way to go.
Yeah.
So, good topic this morning. You want to start it off for us, baby?
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about communication in marriage. More specifically, like effective communication in marriage. I think there's a misconception that because you're talking that you're communicating well.
Yeah.
And that is an error.
Yeah. I think let me throw this in real quick too, along the same line. Oftentimes we communicate well in specific areas. But if we're not considerate of that, we'll think we talking good across the board.
Right. That's good.
And we really hammering it in certain areas where we feel most comfortable. And just because we're talking, we'll believe that we're covering all bases. But being considerate of the areas that feel a little bit iffy, there has to be strong communication across the board.
Right. And so I think that like something else that's a wrong thinking is like communication, right? So let me back it up because I'm getting ahead of myself in my mind. So, right, effective communication is important in marriage because it lets you know where your spouse is, it lets you know where your spouse is going, and just the conditions of their individual life, right? I personally believe that isolation is a trick of the enemy that he uses for mankind, but very specifically in marriage.
Yeah.
Like the enemy's goal in a marriage is to isolate you and to make you feel by yourself or alone. But I believe that marriage is the tool that the Lord released to kind of kill isolation. But isolation, I don't think a lot of people know that it's a decision.
Yeah.
Like you can decide to be isolated in a marriage.
And I think that people think that because they're married, isolation is not possible.
Right.
And it absolutely 100% is. You can be in a room with people. You can be in a room, share a house, share a bed with your spouse and be living in your own world.
Yeah.
Like completely separate from their experience.
Right.
So like just being together or being married does not mean that you are locked in or you tapped in. You can 100% be isolated.
Yeah, you can be disconnected in a marriage. And I don't even mean from like not sleeping in the same bed or not going on dates or not doing stuff, but letting your spouse into the intricate and intimate spaces in your mind and your thoughts. So we're gonna get into that a little bit.
I love this. I've loved this topic because like I believe that there's this narrative out, right? About your self-work.
Oh, okay.
Or your own. This is for you to take care of. We have to pull ourselves out of
culture,
singleness. Period.
Yeah. Pop culture preaches people. That, you know.
It's like, well, you had that going on before you got in here. Well, the moment you brought that in here to this marriage, it became our thing to take care of.
Right.
And I think a lot of people who are married have internal wars that because they believe that that's their war, that's something that they need to take care of.
Right.
And I shouldn't put that on my spouse, that they end up finding themselves in an isolated space with the wars that they've been fighting prior to their marriage.
And that's how the enemy deceives you. He deceives you into making you think that in a marriage you can take care of something by yourself. Absolutely. And you can't. Now, this is not to be mistaken with, like, if Isaac has something going on, I can't do it for him, but I can definitely do it with him.
Yeah, so good.
I cannot do it on his behalf, but I can definitely help him to body it in some type of way, whether it's prayer, whether it's support, whether it is just checking in. And we're gonna get into that later.
Yeah.
When we started talking about this topic, I was reminded of a scripture. I have it here. It's Ecclesiastes 4:9-12. 2 people are better than one, for they can help each other succeed. If one person falls, the other can reach out and help. But someone who falls alone is in real trouble. Likewise, 2 people lying close together can keep each other warm. But how can one be warm alone? A person standing alone can be attacked and defeated, but 2 can stand back to back and conquer. 3 are even better, for a triple braided cord is not easily broken. And so that's where we get the concept, in marriage of the threefold cord. Absolutely. It's a depiction of that.
Absolutely. But that's your 3. Let's be clear. The Bible's not talking about threesomes. The Bible's talking about you, your wife, husband, wife, and God as the threefold cord.
Absolutely.
Right?
Let's be clear.
Amen. All right.
But just talking about how two people together get a job done.
Absolutely.
And so that's why it's important. But you can't get a job done if we can't talk about it. If I'm hiding things from you and I'm not inviting you, we have this concept of being invited into, the ring, right? So if I am dealing with something, then I have to empower my spouse by inviting them into what I'm dealing with so that we can fight this thing or conquer this thing together.
And this was a thing that Teresa and I talked about in our premarital counseling. Like, we talked about I've had my world, obviously. I think I was 20, 21, 22, and you were 23, 24 in that area.
23.
And with all of those things being what they were, right, with us being at the age we were at and whatever, we had things that we had experienced already that we had been dealing through, working on, getting situated, and decided that because I am willing to bring you into my space, into my life, into my world, these are things that we will take on together. We said these exact words: there is nothing that I am not willing to talk about with you.
Right.
Nothing. We can go into further detail, but there is literally nothing that we've talked about it on other podcasts, and I think people like, what, really? We've talked about on other podcasts how one of the things that we said that we would discuss together is if we find somebody else attractive, right? Whether I'm at work or whether we out with the kids for, children's experiences, doing what they do, whatever like that, skating lessons and stuff. Our kids in skating lessons, y'all, it's crazy.
They be looking like baby giraffes out there.
But they be doing their thing. But whatever it is, right? If we, just because of interactions or whatever, if we find ourselves attracted to someone for some reason, we don't just let that concept be something that we just let roll off of our
or
back.
Try to deal with on your own. Because
Absolutely.
The reality is dealing with anything on your own in a marriage is gonna present a difficulty, because marriage is a supernatural and it's a spiritual connection.
It is.
And so I know I'm getting off topic, but I think that sometimes we are deceived in believing I can hide this. Your spouse is picking up on it. Now, what they are receiving that as or interpreting that as, that can be completely left up to their own ignorance.
Yeah.
But them being ignorant about something is on you if you're going around hiding things or being deceptive and not forthcoming with something that you're dealing with. Yeah. Now, the subject of attraction, right? People can be attracted to people for a myriad of different reasons, right? Yes. So if I am finding myself attracted or drawn to a young lady, does that mean that I'm struggling with same-sex attraction? Not necessarily, depending on who you are, depending on what your background is. I don't know, right? If I came from that, then that's something I want to discuss with my spouse for multiple reasons. But it could be I'm having attraction to a man, I'm having an attraction to a woman, and it's not sexual or anything like that. Yeah, in nature, but I'm finding myself attracted. So now my husband can help me just determine why I'm feeling attracted. Is this a temptation for me, or is this a God connection? And has this person been highlighted to me because they're supposed to be connected to my life for whatever, X reason?
Yeah, I love the fact that you use the word drawn, and maybe that kind of helps to paint a better picture for the listener or the watcher, YouTube. Because when we hear attraction, our natural inclination is romantic, sexual, because that's what we see the most culturally. But the truth is, God has designed us to be attracted or drawn to other people because God uses people to push purposes.
Yes.
So because that's the case, we have to be more mature about the concept of attraction. We have to be more open and understanding about the concept of attraction so that we're able to see, okay, what is the reason by which I am feeling this pull? What is the purpose of it? Is this a God thing? Is this my flesh? Is this the enemy? Is this a distraction? Or is this something that has actual purpose that I should actually be pursuing?
Absolutely.
And it's better to be able to figure that out with more than just your one mind, just your one set of emotions, just your one set of eyes. Having a spouse puts you in a position to be able to have a conversation about that concept more thoroughly vetted.
Mm-hmm.
More thoroughly vetted.
Yeah.
more thoroughly vetted. I was listening. I was listening to a preacher talking about Eve being born, Eve being created from Adam, and how God removed Eve from Adam's rib, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he used where the scripture says that it's not good for man to be alone. And he took that whole, what some people would consider to be like cliches, but he took the alone thing and he broke it down as all one. Basically to say that when Adam was created, both male and female were in Adam.
Mm-hmm.
And God did not want both of those concepts to sit just within one context. So he took the rib and created Eve so that the fullness of the expression of God
absolutely
could be fully realized in both male and female. Right. So that being the case, consideration of that, having both perspectives look at one particular thing gives you the ability to have a stronger, more thorough, more considerate perspective around what it is you're talking about.
Absolutely.
And in whatever the particular area is that we're figuring through.
Yeah.
So
I think that topic or conversation could be difficult for people to talk about, because what if it's not, a God thing? What if this is a temptation? What if this is, something that is reminiscent of a past, before the marriage, during the marriage, what have you? But you have to be able to talk about your temptations.
Yes, and I think the truth is this, guys. We have to be willing to be okay with our weaknesses.
Absolutely.
We got to be willing to be okay with our weaknesses. That's the reason why God gave you a spouse for your vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying go out here and give the whole world everywhere where you feel weak, but the person who you lay with and are intimate with, you should be in the position where you could tell them, hey, I feel like I'm slipping here.
Yeah.
Hey, I feel like I'm struggling here. Mm-hmm. And they should have the space in your relationship or in your communication to be able to walk up to you and say, hey, I feel like you're struggling here.
Yes.
Right? Because
accountability.
Sometimes God will alert your spouse to something that you might be missing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So here you go. I was on the road, on tour, full time, out here doing my thing. Right? And while I am, more guys on the road than these girls, we hanging out or whatever like that. And just because of the culture, it's like, okay, you look at women and things of that nature, right? Teresa, I was home one day and Teresa approached me, was like, your eyes are a little wandering. What's going on with you? And I didn't even realize it because it had become so much a part of the culture of being on the road and being out that women are talked about or women are discussed, whatever it may be. And it's not even the thing where I was particularly involved in the conversations that much. It was just always around.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And because that was the case, God allowed my wife to see something that I did not realize that I had fallen into.
Yeah.
And she was able to come to me and say, hey, what's going on?
And the thing about that is I wasn't even there. This wasn't a behavior that I observed. It was something that I picked up on spiritually. And I think that I was more alerted to it because it wasn't in my environment. At that time, me and Isaac were in two completely different cultures.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't like when he was home, this is something I'm observing because now, of course, you're in the culture, your regular norm. And so that it wasn't like I caught you looking at somebody, right, but I picked up on that was something that was a part of somewhere where that was counterculture.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that it's important to be able to hold your spouse accountable.
And the thing about it was when this was brought to me, I had two options. I could have got offended. 3 options. I could have got offended.
Mm-hmm.
I could have lied and said, "No, that's not going on." Or I could take the accountability, check myself, and say, "Okay, if you're going to continue on the road, you're going to have to gird yourself up so that you don't end up in this place.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to be more considerate around what you are doing to make sure that you're prepared to be able to be in that world."
Right.
And no, I was not on the road with R&B artists.
No.
But the concept is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of these things, like all of that's just example to say, you want to be able to have that.
You reading
openness.
The notes, baby?
Yeah, what you want me looking down?
Yes,
I'm looking at
the people are right here. Let them see.
No, I'm making sure that I'm also checking our the connection to make sure.
Oh, okay. Sorry, y'all. So we running our board right here.
I work both worlds. I'm talking to y'all, making sure y'all good, making sure the notes is good.
Okay.
So we good. But I had to be sure that we had to have the space in our relationship And we encourage you to fortify this space or create this space in your relationship, if not there, where open conversation like that can be had and it be heard from the space where you came to me with this because you love me.
Right.
You came to me with this because you understand that if I let you fall, we fall.
We fall.
If I let you be destroyed by this, it's not just you. Because the two become one. Like, we cannot discount the spiritual aspect of what marriage is. The two become one. So if I see that you're walking towards a pit and I don't say anything, I might as well jump in the pit before you.
Yeah, because if you fall, then I fall too.
And that's just the case. So it's thoroughly important for us to be able to have those type of communication lines available, even in the things that feel uncomfortable, even in the things that feel like a weak point.
Yeah.
Right.
I think too, like, being vulnerable is something that's built in a marriage. Truly. And so that's why you have to have that communication so that you can build the trust that I would hope that if you are joining your life together with somebody in marriage and covenant, that you would believe that this person would have your best interest. Because if I don't believe that you have my best interest in mind or in heart, then I think that when I am vulnerable with you, that this is ammunition for you to use against me later on when you're mad about something or when you feel away about something.
And I want to also encourage my sisters out here that are listening to just be emotionally aware where you are and not look at your man like Superman. And in that, if he brings a weakness to you, it's in some way that, is going to be harmful to you or something of that nature. He really needs a space where he can come and say, hey, I'm struggling.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm feeling like I'm in a bad space right here. I feel like I'm in a bad spot.
Yeah.
And you be able to hear that, process that, provide him safety, pray for him, and not readily internalize it like, oh, well, if you're feeling like that, what am I doing wrong? Or what is it about me that make you feel that way?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's nothing about you. Sometimes it's not really in your world. It is something that he has either been attacked with, something that he did not know he needed to deal with. Things come up from people's past and stuff like that.
From people's bloodlines that show up at the most inopportune time, like in marriage.
Absolutely. That they were not privy to and things of that nature. And because that's the case, when in moments of weakness, solidarity has to be the response. Solidarity has to be the response. Even if that's the initial response, and y'all need to go back and you can like after you feel like he's at a stronger point, we can revisit and say, hey, when we had this going on, it did make me kind of feel like there was something that I was not doing.
But I'll even say get ahead of it. So I think about us, right? We dealt with, I guess, that same type of concept. Yeah. Like, okay, if you don't got it together, then what are we even doing?
Right. Right.
And so that put unnecessary pressure on Isaac. But I had to be honest that I had fears. I had to talk about the fear of him not knowing the answer to something, how that made me feel. Like, I know that you're human and I don't expect for you to err, but it's like knowing it and really believing it is two different things. Because I kind of did expect for him to have certain things together that he hadn't mastered. And I had to be honest about how that caused me to how that fact made me feel. It made me feel scared. It made me feel, just overall fearful. And so, but when I didn't communicate that to him, it made it seem like I was having this unrealistic expectation, which I did, but I didn't tell him what it was fueled by. So he didn't even know how to pray for me. Like, okay, God, make my wife not be scared. Help my wife to not be fearful while I'm trusting you to help me figure something out.
Right.
And so when we were able to be honest with each other, when he was able to be honest and say, hey, I'm struggling with this. I'm looking for an answer to this thing. I don't know. And I couldn't say, well, the blind leading the blind. And I had to kind of say, I'm fearful when you don't know. So he was praying for me about the fear and I was praying for him about the direction. And when we came together in agreement, God was able to meet us in the situation to give me encouragement against fear and give him direction, but also to help both of us learn how to let go of being able to know it all the time or feel safe all the time and and knowing the direction, and really to just lean into trust in God to lead us together alongside of each other.
Yeah. And I think that another thing, that being okay with discussing your weaknesses helps to eliminate the pressure to perform on both sides.
Absolutely.
Right? Because it's not like, if you feel like your spouse is always looking for you to be at 100%, then when you're at 73, you find yourself overworking to make it seem like you at 100.
Yeah.
When the truth of the matter is, if I can come to you and be like, hey, 30% of this is like really not working for me right now. Right? It puts me in position to be at ease at where I am. Understand that, and that I can trust you, that I'm going to still put forth all of the effort that I have. But what I have is not my max.
Right.
And that keeps the pressure of feeling like, okay, I can't fail nothing, or I can't misstep in any error. In any area, or like any whatever small error or whatever that may be made from me, being at a weak point or whatever. Like, we got to just keep in mind the humanity of it is still there as well.
Yeah.
And we don't ever want our spouse to feel like we want them to be perfect.
Yeah.
All right. And we want you to always be working on all of the areas, right? Things that we should be perfect at. Don't cheat. Try not to cheat.
Don't cheat.
Don't do it.
Don't cheat.
Don't do it.
Emotionally,
yes,
or physically.
And the way that you do this, and it's the thing, and I just want to just put this out here for clarity. The way that you do that is proper communications and accountability.
Absolutely.
Because when you talk about your weaknesses, before you get to the point where the weakness is standing in front of you, you arm yourself to not fall.
Right. But infidelity happens when weaknesses are met outside of the relationship. Because if I am feeling unseen as a wife, and I don't tell my husband, hey, I'm feeling unseen, and somebody else outside is giving me attention, now I'm able to have a need met outside that wasn't even expressed in the marriage. I think a lot of infidelity just happens out of ignorance, like, for real. And I'm not giving an excuse as to why people step outside, their marriages, but it's like a lot of it is rooted in lack of communication, isolation in some regard.
Yeah.
You got taken away from the center. You was deceived to walk away, believing a lie.
Yeah.
And when the lie is allowed to live, it grows, and now you find yourself in a situation, and it's just so unnecessary.
Absolutely.
I think another thing that you have to be comfortable talking about, it's a couple of things, right? So I'm gonna name them, and then we could talk about which ones you want to talk about. Money. You got to be able to talk about money in marriage, and it's not just about like, okay, how much.
Gonna name all of them before we talk about it.
Okay, right. Money, family.
We know what she want to talk about, y'all.
I'm gonna talk about the money on, because they be tearing the saints up.
It do.
Money. I haven't written down. Money, family, children. I think we already touched on temptation and fears.
Yeah, but we could definitely revisit those. But
so money.
Yes.
Not just how much is in the bank account, and do you have your money and I have my money, because shared money is necessary. Separate money, some people do, some people don't. But I think that the culture around money, like, okay, if we have access, what are we doing with it? Believe it or not, a lot of people feel away, but don't feel comfortable enough being honest about how much money they spouse give to the church. And it's like, we got access. So if we have, let's use small numbers. If we have $100 left over and Isaac go and give 75 of that to the church, I'm going to have a problem with it, because that's my culture about money. I think that like before maybe we can get 50, and then the other 50 we're going to split it down. We're going to divide the pie down the middle. But if Isaac has a different concept of that can breed a negative feeling around that concept for me. So I need to say, hey, how are we spending our extra money? Do we believe in going on trips? Do we believe in going, reserving certain things for what? Because I could be feeling, we ain't been on a vacation and you are doing a good thing. And that's another thing. I think a lot of people, they do stuff with good motives, but when it's not communicated as to your mindset or your thought process behind something, good motives can get completely overlooked, because unless your spouse has the same viewpoint about it, or at least understand where you're coming from, then things can just get completely misconstrued. And now Isaac giving extra money to the church can be looked at as he don't care about us dating, because we could go on better dates. If he was saving more money, we could go on better trips, or, you know, I want some new pictures in the house, and, you know, just different things like that. So being able to talk about money, or another area where we see money conversations go left, is not being honest about what you're doing with your money. If you are giving all of your extra money, or all of your, some people they dip it in them savings accounts to help out mama and sister.
But the thing is this, because people don't talk or discuss money, or they have this concept where it's like, okay, once the bill's paid, what you do with your money is what you do with your money. What I do with my money is what I do with my money. You leave too much room for negative talk from the enemy, negative talk from your friends, negative thoughts in general. Because anything that is that open, ambiguous, I'm not sure of, right, just leaves too much room for error,
right? And we talking about things, I want to clarify, we talking about things that are problematic, not like, okay, if you go out, you can do what you want to do with your money, but when you feel a way about it, I'm gonna give our classic example. A lot of these husbands have issues with the way that their wives spend their money at Amazon, and it's a jokey joke, but it is really breeding something very dark in the heart. And in the perspective, and they look at their wives like they're addicts. They look at their wives like they don't have self-control, because they don't agree with how, but then they feel, well, that's her money, I can't say nothing about it. Yes, you can. You have to be vulnerable enough to say, hey baby, I noticed that I feel a way about the way that you're spending your money, and that is okay to do. Now, whatever y'all end up, coming to as a conclusion, but at least putting that conversation on the table, so that you're not looking upside your wife's head and feeling some type of way about her spending habits. Or then the women of God, they have a problem with how much these men are spending on these shoes. Well, say something. If you are having a negative experience or thought
around money, period,
about anything concerning your spouse, say something. But you don't want to feel petty. That's the thing. I don't want to. That's yours.
This the other monster when it comes to money. All right, we got to be honest with where we really are with the love of money. The reason why I say that is this: the first thing that people run to when it comes to money conversations, and I don't even know why this is first resort. But anytime you have a conversation around somebody's money, what's the first thing they say? You trying to control me? Whoa.
Right. That's true.
This is not a conversation about control. It's a conversation about safety, security, clarity,
vulnerability, and accountability.
And that's it.
Because just because it's yours don't mean that you don't have to be accountable still.
Don't automatically when somebody, and I guess it's a touchy area, because like in our world, money is the reflection of being fully realized, fully adult, fully I can do what I want to do.
It just gives you freedom.
So the moment that somebody asks you about it, it's like, oh, what you think I'm a child? What you think I don't know what I'm doing? It's possible.
It's a possibility.
It's possible.
Because we gonna act like every day we don't find people in gambling addictions, and your spouse done been gambled off, and in a way, or where's the money going? Because if you got a fast food addiction, if you got a addiction hides in the conversation that's not had about money.
That's not had. It happens all the time, because everybody's addiction is not a drug. Everybody's addiction is not, you know what I'm saying?
It could be addicted to people pleasing.
Yes.
You done spent all your money.
Yes.
You took all the money that you had saved up and paid for your cousins and them who don't even talk to you to go on the trip. That's a problem for your spouse. He should feel a way about that.
We skipping on the kid's birthday, but you've been taking your additional money and helping your mama fix stuff at the house. Shouldn't be the case.
Yeah,
should not be the case.
It's not control. It's about priorities.
It is.
It's about accountability. It's about vulnerability.
And
because
sometimes we just really need realignment around that. Because money does naturally.
It's a revealer.
It reveals you. It feeds you. It feeds you. It makes you feel away. Everybody, I don't care who you are. If I come put $100K in your hand right now, it's Flex City. You know what I'm saying? Everybody.
What they do there?
You ready? Because now all of a sudden you got that in your hand. But if you're not willing to have conversations whether that be, hey, we need to sit down and talk, or hey, I think we should sit down with a money manager.
Yeah.
To be able to put a guardrail in place around this concept so that we stay safe as a marriage. That anytime we need to have a discussion, if that's the case, if money is really that for you, and every time that a discussion needs to be had around finances, okay, we need to call our financial advisor and figure out are we making the best moves for each other overall. Put whatever you need to put in place, but the conversation should definitely be able to be on the table.
And then ultimately, take it to prayer. Lord, what should we be doing with this extra money? Truly. Is what I'm doing with my money the right thing? Is what my spouse doing with their money the right thing? How can we use what you've given us? Because it's also a seed. It's a way to pay for things, like, and to create things. Like money answers all things.
Truly.
That's in the word now. So you have this tool, and with it being as powerful of a tool as it is, the enemy is going to try to attack it. So money. Talk about that money.
Talk about it. You gotta talk about that. You gotta talk about family. What's going on with, some people decide they go, okay, your family is your family, my family is my family. I ain't gonna say nothing about what you do with your family. You don't say nothing what you do. It's too much room for the enemy to create division, dissension, because of something that we're not gonna discuss.
Right.
In my opinion, there should be nothing that you can't talk about.
Right. And I want to frame that a little better, because again, it is this concept of not wanting to control your spouse. If you have a problem with how much your wife be on the phone with her twin sister, you should say something about it.
Say something.
I use that example. Those are real things.
But the thing is this,
for real.
I want to address that concept, because it's like we fear control as a people. But the truth of the matter is there is an element of adjustability, which is technically control, that exists within marriage.
Yes.
There is an element of that.
Yes.
Because you become tied together based on God's pattern. One, he said that a man is the head.
Yes.
Right? What's the purpose of a head? To control the body.
Yes, to lead it.
Tell the body where it's going. There's an element of that already exists. So that's already something you got to eliminate naturally. This particular vehicle, institution that you're in, has the power, or should have the power, to be able to adjust either party at any point.
Yeah.
So we cannot be in a place where we feel like, oh, you trying to control me, or you trying to tell me what to do from either spouse.
Right.
We should be willing to be able to say, okay, at least let's hear this out and then find what's going to be best for us to put in place to be able to address whatever this particular area is.
Right. I think in the example that I was talking about with my twin sister. So when me and Isaac got married, we're married, yes, but my sister, my twin sister, my home girl,
she done call while we've been on this podcast.
And what I tell you, she
gonna
did.
Call.
But it was inordinate for a married woman. The connectivity that we had almost had me like committing emotional infidelity with my sister. And it's not, I won't say infidelity, like I had a loyalty to her that should have been given to my husband. And so in him addressing it, like, I know that's your girl, we both love her, you've been with her, y'all shared a womb together, but like, I shouldn't be finding out secondhand information, especially like major stuff that's going on with you, because me and my sister been and talked on the phone and figured it out, and Isaac finding out about it later in a conversation months down the line.
Was finding out was she was thinking she was telling me because she told her.
I was.
The information been, I got off her heart, it's done. And then she'll cycle back and be like, remember when we? New news. What you talking about?
Right.
Never heard of it. But these things existed, and it was something that we had to adjust.
Yeah, because it hadn't happened. And that was one of the things that you think naturally happened. Like, okay, yeah, I'm married now. This is the closest person to me, whatever. But my sister had still had a space in my heart that when you move and start to create your own nuclear family, it goes to that space. Like the leaving and the cleaving, people always make it about mom and daddy. It's not just about them. It's about siblings as well.
That's a reference of a culture. It's not really just about mother and father. It is the culture that was created by mother and father. So anything that reflects that culture, which will naturally exist in your siblings as well, I have to make some adjustments.
And more specifically with my sister, like we were like a married couple already. So I had already had this very intimate relationship with another individual, and where we were completely vulnerable and accountable in all of the things. And I had to be directed to shift like, hey, this now comes to me. Absolutely. I now am first in the line of, the vulnerability. But also because if it was something that I experienced and I was able to work through it with my sister, my husband not being armed, because I'm gonna be married to him for the rest of our life. So it's like, I'm not saying don't talk to my sister about it, but I'm saying Isaac should not know about something that I'm struggling with. Truly. He should not know something that the enemy has stepped up to me, because I call her, girl, I need you to pray about da-da-da-da-da. And now we on the phone going to the high heavens against this cause, and my husband didn't even have the opportunity to pray for me about it. That's not right.
In Judah, you hear me? Going for it.
So that was an adjustment that definitely had to take place.
And it literally is it's conversation.
Yeah, but had you been like, I don't want to control your relationship with your sister, or felt like you didn't have the ability to come and talk to me about that, I still would be married to both of y'all.
We'd be in a bad spot, because it would be that one though. Again, when you don't talk. Mm-hmm. If you don't talk to your spouse about the situation is going to talk to you about how you feel about your spouse.
Absolutely. That's good.
The coaching going to happen somewhere.
Yeah, it is.
We're either going to have this conversation and arm each other to be able to work through this situation, or this situation is going to coach me to make space between me and my spouse. Mm-hmm. And that's what we don't want. We got to talk. There should be nothing on the table. We got to talk. We got these two scriptures we want to give y'all that we feel like are going to be really strong to hammer this home. The first one is this. It's 1 Peter 3:7. It says, in the same way, you husbands must give honor to your wives. Treat your wife with understanding as you live together. She may be weaker than you are, but she is your equal partner in God's gift of new life. That's the marriage. Treat her as you should, so your prayers will not be hindered. What is the scripture trying to tell us? Consideration one to another eliminates the possibility of spiritual attack.
Yes.
If we are open and continually in constant communication and consideration of one another,
right,
we keep the enemy for the room for the enemy out, and we keep the space for God to do amazing things between us, always open.
Right. But on the flip side, that also says, if there is dishonor in your marriage, if there is deception, and I want to say this, y'all, I believe that a lot of deception happens with good motives.
Yes.
Because it's like, I don't want to burden him. I don't want to put this on her. I don't want to seem like the intention or the motive behind it is like not creating a problem, but deception, hiding things, being secretive, not being forthcoming, however you want to say it. It does create a problem. It creates a much bigger problem. So the motive can be right, but the outcome is going to be wrong, because deception can hinder your prayers from being heard. So say Isaac, I'm having this issue. I'm going to hide it from Teresa. I'm going to take it to the Lord in prayer. His prayers are being hindered. According to 1 Peter 3:7, his prayers could possibly be hindered because of deceit or dishonesty that he's having in our marriage, in our relationship.
We have to understand that the enemy is playing in the dark. Okay. Your omission still leaves room for dark.
Absolutely.
What you don't talk about still leaves room for the dark. And we'll say, I didn't lie to you. I just didn't tell you about it at all.
Right.
And it's like, still leaves room for the dark. It's much better for us to actually talk about it, discuss it,
to arm
each other, to be able to hold each other up. Arm each other to be able to hold each other up. Last scripture, Matthew 18:19. I also tell you this, these are the words of Christ. If two of you agree here on earth concerning anything you ask, my Father in heaven will do it for you. Only way we're going to agree is if we talk about it. We discuss it. We become empowered to overcome if it's a hurdle, we become empowered to excel. If it is a pursuit, whatever the situation is, our agreement empowers the third strand of the cord, being the Father, Son, Holy Ghost, 3 in 1, to step in and supernaturally push forward whatever our goal is.
Yeah.
And that is the space as a marriage we want to live in.
Right.
We want to live as a married couple in the space where we have God's backing, forward progress, God's push, God's agreement.
Right. Not somewhere praying about it by myself.
In that space,
trying to me and the Lord
done.
Take care of it. Not in y'all marriages, y'all. Not in your marriage. And it don't just have to be an issue with the marriages.
No.
Anything. If the two of you guys are able to talk about it, and then you can pray about it. But if you can't talk about it, you're not going to pray about it.
Absolutely.
Not in the way that we are supposed to be coming together and agreeing in our marriage, allowing our covenant to work for us. A lot of people work harder, because I do believe that you can have some level of breakthrough by yourself, but it's like, at what cost? How tired are you after? How worn out? How much insight could you have had had you had your partner that God gave you? Right? We're talking about marriages that are submitted to the lordship of Jesus Christ, because you're never supposed to do it alone. You're never supposed to do it alone.
Right.
All things are supposed to come to conversation, come to agreement, ultimately submitting them to God so that He can do it for us, for real.
Absolutely.
Like, it takes the guesswork out of it.
Absolutely. So we want to encourage y'all, talk about it. I love my wife.
I like it too.
I got 2 eyes. She got 2 eyes. Then we both went to the doctor and got 2 more eyes. So we got 8 eyes. We figuring this thing out. We gonna see it.
Somebody gonna see it.
We gonna see it. It ain't getting past either one of us. Huh? These the windows to success. You hear me?
No.
We see it.
I'm praying to come out of my glasses. Y'all pray for me.
But all that is to say, I'm joking, but the truth of the matter is, between the two of us, there's a whole lot of perspective. There's a whole lot more wisdom. There's a whole lot more understanding that exists when both of us can put our eyes, our attention, our focus on any one area, and then take that to the Holy Spirit to receive spiritual wisdom.
Yes. I think a lot of people miss out on confirmation by not allowing the Holy Spirit in your spouse, which is the same spirit, to bear witness with something, right? We talking about discernment now, where I might be thinking this and I'm gonna run it by Isaac to see what he feels about it, or what is the Lord revealing to him about it. And this could be good or bad. Like, hey, I had this opportunity. I think it's really good. What do you think about it?
Problem is, you don't want your husband to confirm it. You want your pastor to confirm it.
Huh?
So now we're
gonna agree with the wrong people.
We're gonna take our business plan down to the altar. Let the pastor pray over it.
Pastor can pray over it, but your husband
should have already told you at that point that this is God.
Yeah.
All right. So y'all talk. Don't leave anything off. Don't leave anything out. Talk about it. It's all good.
And we realize that for some people, this could be a working point. Like, we didn't get married day one and was able. Well, we had made the promise to talk about everything, but it was not always easy. And so I want to say this last thing, right? If you have to, come up with the plan. And if you need some marriage coaches and marriage mentors to help you come up with the plan, we are available to help you come up with the plan about how to talk about difficult things, right? How to approach certain conversations. Because for some people, money always end up in an argument. So you need to come up with a plan for, maybe we can't talk about money at home on our counter. Maybe we got to go out in a public place where our defenses are down. Maybe we need to have sex before we start talking. Before I start telling him about his family, maybe we need to get the defenses down.
Put the money on the
or
table.
Do some things, create an environment that makes it easier to talk. But if we don't know what makes it easier to talk, because we're not talking about how to talk about things, like everything is not straight out. Some stuff really has to be a setup, y'all.
Yeah.
Until you grow to the space where it's not that difficult. You got to build that muscle in your marriage to be able to do things easily. But if you never start and you never come up with a plan about how to approach it, you're never going to be able to get strong in it.
Absolutely. So this is what you do. Find your romantic suite with a nice bed and
that don't work for everybody.
It's got to have a pole in it.
No,
okay?
you don't have to have a pole.
Get in the pole, because what you do is then you go down to the bank. You take out about $1,000. That's all right. You got that. In ones. All right. And you make money seem minor by throwing it in the air. while you experience what you need to experience. Then we can talk about money all day because we got it like that.
It's on the flow.
It's on the flow. No big deal. But whatever's necessary for you, take the time to put yourself in position to be able to have the conversation around any concept, any topic, because it is going to ultimately strengthen your marriage. It's going to empower you to be most successful. And it's going to keep you from the pit that the enemy intends. Mm-hmm. The pit is going to be there. The difference between in the pit
and walking around
the pit is a couple more eyes on the fact that it's a pit there. All right. So make sure you talk. Make sure y'all discuss. Baby, why do you love me?
I love you because what'd you say?
Say you love me because I'm him.
You are him.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I love you because you created a space for me to go. I was in my beauty room today. And so everybody who knows us know I'm the only girl in the house. Mm-hmm. And my beauty room the kids had started to move like some toys in there and some other stuff that was not mine.
In there at one point. You just throwing stuff.
It was just stuff. It had started to become the catch-all room. Mm-hmm. And so Isaac went into my beauty room and got everybody's everything. I didn't even have to ask him. He cleaned up my beauty room and created, just because I would have had to do it if you didn't do it.
Swept the floor, everything.
It was smelling good in there. So he gave me my space back. Yeah. I mean, that I could go in there and it's just my stuff and all of my girly dainty things. And then he locked the door. Mm-hmm. And so now the kids cannot go in there. And that's just lovely.
I got to change those locks. Put down in the comment. Remind me. Change the lock.
Oh, so that so they won't be able to get in from the other side. But they ain't figured it out yet.
Okay, cool.
So why do you love me?
I love you because you made the most amazing dinner yesterday. I asked my baby to make me some lamb chops yesterday. And it was so good. Oh my God. Dinner be great every day. But I'm not always the guy who be like, hey, can you make me? So when I ask and you be like, yeah, I got you. I can do this forever. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I love you.
I love you too.
So this is the Marriage is Better Together podcast, where we, with our life
and all of our experiences, show you why two is definitely better than one.
We'll see y'all next week.